Please be advised, Gaggle of Geeks contains strong opinions that may contain language unsuitable for young children. Now here are your hosts, Patrick Beatty and Chaz Campbell Evans.
Keep the change, you filthy animal.
What is up, my Gaggle of Geeks, and welcome to tonight's episode. Chaz, we're going to be talking about the films of 2008. How's it going, man?
Oh, it's going. I got to say, I like that little introduction you got there. It's a nice addition to the show.
That's the new, we should cover our tracks, because most of our episodes are gonna steer that way, especially with you and me, if we're gonna end up talking about anything related to anything. And I don't even want to say the words to some of this stuff, because I figure it's just gonna start the insanity already. It's Friday, dude. I had to say the catchphrase. What?
You know, it is Friday. It's Friday.
It's Friday. And 2008 was an incredible film, incredible year for film. We're already starting great. Let's introduce our guests. You already know him from Let's Talk About It. It's Jay Moore. How's it going, man?
Hey, what's going on, Patrick? What's going on, Chaz? It's always good to be here. I love this show.
Yeah. And making his debut, you might have seen him if you were watching the Remote Con panel that I did with Great Power. He has some fantastic action figures, and hopefully he'll showcase some of them during this. It's Robert, the action figure guru. How's it going, man?
Hey guys, how you doing? Good to be here. Thank you for having me.
This is so dope. I am very excited to have all of you four here to talk about the films 2008. And first, I kind of want to set the stage before we jump into our first segment of it. Where were you in 2008, and what was your life like at that point? So let's start with Robert.
Well, 2008, I was here in Utah, trying to think, working for a software company and thinking about getting engaged, which actually happened at the tail end of 2008.
Dang. That's a year.
It was a year.
Jay, what were you doing in 2008?
Well, in 2008, I was actually working for Fry's Electronics, and I worked in the computer department, so it was fun.
Nice.
Meanwhile,
me and Chaz were definitely in high school, unless you somehow graduated past me.
I was in junior high.
You're junior high? Fuck, shit. Okay.
Wait a minute. Wow.
Yeah,
That just made me think of just junior high and how old I was in 2008. It was like, oh.
Yeah. I know, right? To definitely make me feel old. Jeez, thanks.
Yeah. I was in 7th grade going to 8th grade.
Well,
Oh, wow.
I remember this year mainly for one film, but we're of course we're going to be talking about The Dark Knight a lot.
What's that?
For this episode? But before we do that, we need to start. What?
It's a time when the sun isn't out.
Hold on, let me check. Nope, still out.
Yeah, okay,
No,
yeah.
that's good. All right. But the night is dark. It's just before the dawn.
All right.
And I promise you, this next segment is coming. And it is our Tinker trailer clap. Little ominous there, but no worries. This is the game where we look through the trailers of 2008, and we just play the audio, and I want you guys to guess what the trailer is based on the audio. Now, Chad, we've already talked about you simmering it down a little bit when it comes to your, I guess the only way I could put it is outrageous.
I was being a douchebag
On every
Doing the holograms? Oh, wait. No.
Mhm.
But let's start this off with a trailer that I think he was trending on Twitter a while back, but let's go with
2,000 years ago, China's Dragon Emperor conquered half the world. Now, he is returning to finish the job.
Here we go again.
Any guesses, anyone? Robert?
The Mummy, Rise of the Dragon Emperor, or Return of the Dragon Emperor.
Yes, that's it.
I was about to say, yeah, that sounds.
Dragon Emperor.
Nice.
It was trending on Twitter because they opened up a mummy.
They opened up like thousands of tombs,
They
didn't they?
opened up
They found a
thousands of them,
ton of
like,
them.
Yeah, like morons, but we won't go into that.
I mean, it's 2020. What could go wrong, right?
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, right. Like, what's about to happen around here? Yeah, we won't talk about that.
All right, let's pull up the next one, which is
She won't go to bed with you unless you give her something she really wants.
I think someone wants to kill you.
You two do make a charming couple, though. You're both, what's the expression? Damaged goods.
anyone. Jay, what do you got?
Is that Quantum of Solace? James Bond?
Quantum of Solace. Woo! That is right.
That would
this
be
was
Daniel Craig's second movie as James Bond, I believe, if I'm not
the
mistaken.
second film, and it's a kind of a continuation to Casino Royale. So there's some
Right.
trails to that, but overall, most people say Quantum of Solace is not super bueno.
I think it was the last. If you were to rank them, it would be last.
Yeah, I mean, a part of me wants to say Spectre is kind of there, but Quantum of
That's
Solace
second
really
to
just
last.
doesn't really go many places, and at least Christoph Waltz is in Spectre.
Right. And
Um,
not to mention, she did a pretty good job.
maybe they're all the same. Who knows?
What?
Jesus.
That would be crazy.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Patrick, real quick. Speaking of James Bond, you got a compliment on the news today saying that your
Yes,
jacket
you
looked
did.
like James Bond.
Yes.
I know.
very-
I have no idea where that came from, and when I asked
I remember
Nat
it
about it, she's
clearly.
like, "You do not look like James Bond. Do not
No.
get this in your head."
James
No.
Bond Jr. maybe.
No,
It's
she
James
said
Bond,
that
if he had a little henchman that walked around carrying his guns, maybe his keys, so that the lighting in his suit would be good.
No. What she said was, you have a jacket that looks like James Bond, and you said that you would take that compliment wholeheartedly.
I take it from her, yeah, but then once you know the truth, you can't really escape it, right? Like
Yeah.
when you're typecast, you're
Well,
typecast.
Sometimes you got to double down and just take it, and that's exactly what you did. And I was like, I'm proud of him.
Oh,
I'm proud of him.
enough, all of you. Let's move to the next trailer, which is
I will call upon the help of all the children of the earth. The good, the bad,
Give it up, Nasty, we can see it.
You see me? How? How do you see me?
And the worst.
any guesses there?
I'll let Chaz take this one. He hasn't
Planet?
answered yet.
Chaz, what do you have?
Captain Planet?
Is it related to the Chronicles of Narnia?
No, it's not.
Okay, then I'm
I
out of
was-
guesses.
Gonna say, I think that's that one movie, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Nope, not that either. Here, let's try again.
I will call upon the help of all the children of the earth. The good, the bad,
Give it up, Nasty, we can see it.
You see me? How? How do you see me?
And the worst.
Anything, man? I'll say this: it's a sequel.
It's a sequel.
This is a sequel to a film that came out earlier.
Hellboy 2.
Oh my God, he
The
got it!
Golden Army.
Hellboy 2: The Golden Army.
Where did he
is
go?
correct.
Where'd Robert go?
No.
He just said the answer and bounced.
Right? I'm just kidding. He'll be back.
Oh, he's coming. There he is.
I was embarrassed to
Oh.
actually know that.
Oh, thank God.
Oh wow! I would not have. I would not have thought of
get
that.
it.
If you hadn't said sequel, I would have never gotten it. But then I was just like, Because when I was looking through movies to kind of figure out what was good and bad and ugly for this year, I was like, that was
I did the same. I did the same thing last night too.
that was
What do we
it.
think of Hellboy 2? I actually think it's a pretty good film.
Missed.
Yeah, I'm a Robert on this one. I'm a little mixed. I still prefer the first one, even to the new one, and I haven't even seen the new one yet. And
Don't.
Ooh, that new one's a piece of crap. I think
It's
that was
great.
my least favorite movie. That was the same year as Dark Phoenix, right?
Yes.
It
Last year,
was
right?
It was a toss up between those two as worst comic book films that came out that year.
Wow.
I'd have to give that one to X3 then. Period. Golden Army wasn't that bad, but when you're comparing the two, come on, be reasonable here. Use your head.
All right. Speaking of using your head, you guys will have to use your head maybe for this one.
While everybody else was aging, I was getting younger. All alone.
You're so young.
Only on the outside.
I know. Come on, you
three of us
use
got
your
it?
head. Yeah, it's the Curious Case of Benjamin Button. It's got to be.
Yes.
It's Fincher's least great film.
I mean, didn't it get a lot of
Really?
awards
Alien
that
3?
year?
Dude, Alien 3 is at least fun. This was a fucking slog. Like, I snored.
Interesting.
Yeah, I was about to say I kind of did fall asleep on this too, but I'm like, they won a lot of awards for it, and I have to give them credit for that.
It was super depressing as well,
Mm-hmm. No, definitely.
It's not a happy flick.
Jay is chastising his
Like,
kid.
come on, this guy, right, how bad could it be?
Using that new mute function on his
Nope,
mic.
I just want to sit with this and watch
He's
it.
got the dad look. The dad look
Yes.
like, I will take my belt off and whoop you.
Oh,
8 ways from Sunday.
I got a little scared and I didn't know
Yeah,
what to
hold
say.
on.
Like I stopped dead in my tracks. Like, just moving on to the next trailer. Oh shit! All right, let's just zoom in on Chaz here because things have happened.
Have you guys ever had the Diet Coke?
We're out of Chaz. We're out of Chaz now. Let's move on to the next one, which is
I'm 37 and I want a baby, so I'm pursuing all my options. I met with an adoption attorney who was very encouraging, and I recently began the artificial insemination process. So with a little bit of luck, I could be pregnant right now. I said too much for a first date, didn't I?
I know.
What do we think of this one? Anyone? Anyone at all? Anyone that's not Chaz at all?
Got me swinging. Sorry, man.
It's probably one of those movies I did not want to watch, which I probably didn't. But
okay, Chaz, what do you think it is?
Baby Mama with Tina Fey and Amy. What's her bucket?
Baby Mama is correct. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The minute you hear Amy Poehler's voice, it's ruined. So I was like, you gotta cut around that for this.
And I'm glad you cut that trailer.
All right, let's move into our next one, which might be a little bit more noises than anything.
Oh no, that's it.
My name is Robert Hawkins. Approximately 7 hours ago, something attacked the city. You found this. If you're watching this, then you know more about it than I do.
Robert, what do you got?
Cloverfield.
Cloverfield, yes.
Yeah,
Reeves introduction.
She was like, my name is Robert Hawkins. I'm like, got it.
That was a film that surprised everybody. Nobody really expected much to come from it. J.J. Abrams has produced the other subsequent films, which you can. I mean, 10 Cloverfield Lane is actually a really good film, but what was the one
Paradox?
that they did that was from
Paradox?
Wait, 10 Cloverfield Lane, is that the one with John Goodman?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yep. John Goodman, and I don't know the guy, but the kid from Newsroom is in it as well. He's like the brother or whatever. Yeah. All right, now let's move into. There's going to be a lot of easy ones, I'm realizing, because though 2008 is kind of far away, especially given the year that we're in now, it really is memorable when it comes to films that have come out. So let's start with some of those more memorable ones.
Your eyes are red. Your tears for your long lost boss.
Tears of joy. I hate job hunting.
Yeah, vacation's over.
That's Iron Man 2.
That was Blade, wasn't it?
Iron Man 2? No.
Well, Chaz said that we weren't really who's going to go into the whole Iron Man Dark Knight thing. So I was like, let me just say the wrong one.
Between the two, I think this was in a year where they didn't have that yet. People were like fine liking either.
Yeah, I think this was a year that they both came out the same year, but
there was another Marvel movie.
There was another Marvel
year.
Yes, there was.
That we don't talk about.
Is that on the trailer?
I don't know. Can't say anything about that.
Wait, I have a question.
I think I know what you're talking about, though. I think I know. Let me show. I think I know.
You're impossibly fast and strong. You gotta give me some answers.
I'd rather hear your theories.
I have considered radioactive spiders and kryptonite.
It's all superhero stuff, right? What if I'm not the hero? What if I'm the bad guy?
This is what we were talking about, right? I'm not
No.
wrong in saying no. Oh,
Not what I was talking about.
oh no! I'm just kidding.
No. Is that Jumper?
Jumper? No, what? What do we know what it is? Come on. It is a Batman is involved in this one.
Oh,
A Batman
God.
is involved in this one.
You talking about superhero movie?
It's not the Dark Knight, but it's Twilight.
Oh,
None of you got Twilight. All right.
Okay, you do realize the people you have in your panel, right?
Yeah, but
And
I expected this on everybody's worst, so I knew at some point you guys would have seen
it's actually not my worst.
It's not. I don't even have it on my list. And you want to know
Wow.
something crazy? Speaking of that, my wife made me watch that movie this past weekend. So, all
Never
of that.
seen it.
Made you.
Never
Sure,
seen it.
Jay. Sure.
Look, okay, I only get 17 weeks out of the year where I can play fantasy football and watch sports on TV. Everything else prior to that is all her, and that's when I'm not in the room with her. You know what I mean?
So Derek like, let's watch Twilight, and you're like, no, we're gonna watch some sports, and she just suddenly goes,
that's exactly it.
I figured,
exactly
I figured as much. Well, let's move on to another. I don't know what this is. Maybe you do.
It's okay.
The attacks are spreading. Boston, Philadelphia.
Maryland.
It's all over the country.
Authorities are now feeling that a terrorist group being responsible is becoming less and less likely.
She says everyone's dead outside.
Chaz.
Is that it's Mark Wahlberg, The Happening?
Yeah.
That's an
Trying
awful
to
fucking
kill
movie.
me,
Just so you
trying to murder me in my sleep. Then Mark Wahlberg. What? No. Oh my god. Is there anything else we want to talk about with that? Kind of the fact that coronavirus is in a weird sense the happening.
Yeah, the only difference between.
I want to come back to that. Though. I want to come back to the coronavirus thing because I've got one of my movies that plays into that well. I think. So I'll come back to that later.
We might have the same. We might have the same movie in mind, and I think I know where you're going with this. So
Does it
I'll
happen-
also wait.
Is it in the United Kingdom?
Yes, actually.
Look at this. We got two minds thinking alike here. Well, let's move on to the next one, which is this might be I don't know if this is bad, but
In a time when the world is searching for enlightenment, one man
I am His Holiness, the Guru Pitka. My goal is to get you to say, G, you are you. I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name. You are a midget.
It's absolutely. I did no.
Was that too much? Okay, I'll leave. I'll walk out.
Movie. It's. The Love Guru was just.
Love Guru.
bad.
Wasn't that Mike Myers?
That was Mike
Guru with
Myers.
Mike Myers.
That was Mike Myers.
The start of his Eddie Murphy-like downturn. But maybe he'll come back.
Eddie Murphy will rise again.
He has.
He did.
God
I was
damn
about
it,
to say
he has
he
risen
did.
again. He's already up. But then 2020 showed up. Showed its
My
stupid
Name
ass.
is
fantastic.
Really great movie, hands down. But
Dolomite
we're not in
is so
2020 yet. We're not in 2020 yet. So
And his SNL return is amazing. I loved him so much in that. Man, the things we lost with the stupid pandemic. We're moving to the next one.
Alone again? I came here with someone. Who?
She's going to break them.
Would you be my boyfriend for 5 minutes? What? Please, just go with it, okay? I gotta get my friend home.
We'll take the drunk mess home. You two go have fun.
If you touch one hair on her head, I will kill all of you!
this is another one of those movies that I probably don't know it because I didn't watch it. So this one's all you, Chaz.
Chaz, what do you think?
Okay, I might be wrong, but I think it's Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist.
My man, yep. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist. I honestly liked this movie a lot growing up.
It's on one of my lists.
Yeah, you know what I was? I was a little bitch when it came to these like meet cute and then they're gonna spend a night together doing fun stuff. I live for that type of film. I don't know why, but like that's my type of Notebook thing where it's like, oh, but it's just for one night and they're still friends and Lost in Translation. Oh my god.
That's how my short film is. So
yep. Well, there you go. Night of Adventure.
I actually took inspiration from Nick and Nora.
That was a shameless plug, Chaz.
I know.
Yeah, I see you.
YouTube.
Did either of you see Nick and Nora?
Nope.
No, Nick and Nora. Well, that might say something about us, Chaz.
Or
move
maybe it's just an old that I forgot. Thanks,
Oh,
Chaz.
that could be. It could be.
I'm a hopeless romantic.
Yeah, like I said, one of those movies you just not gonna catch this brother watching.
Yeah. That I didn't want to say it, Jay, but I was. There's one difference that I think is key with Nick and Nora. I don't think the black community was like, this is a great film. Let's move
You're
to.
absolutely correct. Next.
I'm coming!
Stairs.
Jay?
I know this one. I love this
Yeah.
movie. Kung Fu Panda is awesome.
Yes, I think Jay. Well, I don't know, Robert. Do you have kids?
I have 2 9-year-old girls.
So who has seen Kung Fu Panda last between you two? Because I'm sure me and Chaz have not seen it as sooner as you guys have.
I've never seen it.
You've
I
never
saw it when
seen it? Oh my god!
I saw it when it came out and I own it. I love it. That was one of those movies that I actually appreciated Jack Black a lot more of. And other than, because you haven't really seen him in one of those roles where he's embracing a really cool animated movie. The only serious role I've ever seen Jack Black in anyway was I just watched it recently with Will Smith and Gene Hackman, Enemy of the State.
That's your
90s
only Jack
movie.
Black serious film?
It wasn't
Serious as a
King Kong?
super serious role
King
where
Kong,
there's
yeah.
not really any comedic humor coming from him. Yes.
Oh,
King
King
Kong, I
Kong.
think,
He has no
qualifies.
humor. No, King Kong.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you on that one.
And also Bernie. He really plays the straight character.
Oh, okay. Well, that I did not know about.
Yeah. Just take that. I'm just kidding. Let's move to. I think we haven't done this one yet.
Madola found like this CD just lying in a locker. On the floor there? Yeah. And it's these files, man. I'm not comfortable with this. It was just lying there.
You should put up a note in the ladies' locker room.
Put up a note? Hello? Did anybody lose their secret CIA shit? I don't think so.
And it's on my list too. It says Get Smart.
No, not Get Smart.
Oh, okay.
Nothing?
No go flight.
This was Burn After Reading.
Fuck, that's actually one on my list.
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I was about to say that is on my list as well.
Yep.
Damn it,
Burn
I don't
After
know
Reading.
You might want to cross that one out now.
Right?
I mean, I'm not saying, I'm just saying.
All right, let's
That was
go
an
to-
all-star cast too.
Oh yeah, Brad Pitt and the Coen Brothers. Yep, that worked.
They did really great.
John Malkovich.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Now, speaking of John Malkovich,
I can smell that liquor on your breath.
Because I've been drinking.
Jackass.
Call me a jackass one more time.
Jackass.
How about you, Thickness? Goggles? Stop crying, punk ass. Not okay.
Jay is
every-
losing it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Hancock, man. I mean,
That's
come
amazing.
on, man. I mean, that was actually, I think that was one of more of his fun roles.
I was waiting for. If you guys are just listening in, every once in a while, Jay will have a stern turn. It's like a very nice Blue Steel kind of look for Zoolander, just voguing over. But really, he's going after his boy.
I'm parenting.
Yeah.
With the quickness too.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I know it's coming into the mic, and with this new mic, it's just everything is coming in. So I'm trying to, dial it down.
No worries. Well, what I think Hancock is a pretty good film. I don't think it's supposed to be anything better than. It's not supposed to be a huge film. It's supposed to be its own like fun little self-contained superhero film.
It's entertaining.
Right, and Charlize Theron did a decent job for the way the movie came out. Who would have thought her and Will Smith would have been living legends in this movie? You know, but I thought as a matter of fact, the whole cast did a really great job. To be honest, good job.
Absolutely,
good job.
Good job.
No. You go do your job now. Go.
All right, and we got one more, and this will lead us into what I'm assuming is going to be on most people's list, and we'll go through our tops after this one.
Nothing. No name, no other alias. You can be the outcast. You can make the choice that no one else will face.
Is that Captain America?
It was Iron Man. The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, Edward Norton.
So I guess that's our lead-in.
Okay.
Do we even keep score of this shit, Chaz? We have no idea who wins these things. We just play all the clips and go, all right, moving on.
You know what? Then you know what? On next week's show, I'll keep a tally if I'm on, or if I'm not, I'll still keep a tally, and then I'll send it to Chaz, and then Chaz will let you know.
There we go. Well, let's start then with Jay. You have your top 3 best, your top 3 worst, and then underrated / recommendations for 2008. I want to start this time with our worsts. Let's go with our worst distances.
Our worst? Hold on. Yeah. I got to turn the page because I have more than 3 worst. So
we can't do that. You can't
top
do
3.
The Chaz rule.
I know.
Robert, if you don't know, the Chaz rule is you say 3 and he does 20 and takes all of yours. So you can't even say yours at that point because he's already listed them.
So, okay. All right, here we go. I have Punisher Warzone. Did not like that one. I thought that was horrible.
No.
Honestly, I even thought the one that Travolta was in, the very first one, was more decent. It was way better than Warzone was. I have Speed Racer down as my second one.
I've heard that's got a second wind. A lot of people really like that movie.
I'm not one of those people. And also have Love Guru.
Love Guru. Yeah, that's a pretty terrible
since I could only choose 3. You know.
Hey, I don't make the rules.
It's your show. What do you mean?
Chaz, what were your 3 worst?
3 worst?
3 worst. Worst is first.
Okay, well, since Jay already said one, I will move that off my list and go with these other ones. I have You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Oh my god.
Yes.
yeah, you're right. You're right. That should have definitely been on my list. God, I had to watch that.
I also have Meet the Spartans.
I remember that one as well, and that one also deserves to be on the list.
And I'm sure I'm going to not say this other one, but I'm going to say one that I might have to explain. It's called Marley and Me, and it's because it made me fucking cry.
Wow.
I actually
so that made it your worst because it made you feel a human emotion. Have you not seen Inside Out? It's okay to be sad.
I didn't cry during that, but dude,
that is a different time and
so
place.
Attached to that, and then it was ripped out from underneath me, and I was like, you know what? Fuck that movie. I'm not gonna watch it again because it will make me sad.
I think I would call that one a shit take.
No, the other one was The Happening, but we already covered that, so we're good.
Ooh, The Happening. Yeah. Robert, what do you have for your top 3 worst? Or your bottom 3, I suppose I should say.
Yeah. This reminds me of like Legos and lawn darts, which is how I sometimes rate movies. Legos for good movies and lawn darts for bad ones. The Incredible Hulk. Because I'm a comic book fan and it looked comic booky, but the story was trash. I know what I realized what Ang Lee was trying to do. He was trying to make it like much more of a psychological movie, but it just did not work. It's like give me giant green guy throwing tanks around, and don't make me wait 2.5 hours to get there. So that was bad.
Yep.
Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, because I like Indiana Jones, and this movie made me not.
Well, what was so bad about it? Was it the horrible green screen effect of them jumping through cars that are clearly
Shia LaBeouf.
Mutt Williams, aka Indiana Jones Jr. Yes.
Oh,
it was
yes.
But yeah, it was a shitstorm of a movie all the way through, from refrigerator to anthill to crystal aliens. Shit show.
Yep. Even Kate Blanchett, like there's just she
some
just
people
didn't
can't save
work
everything, and she just couldn't save it. It was like, no, you're king of the world. No, this is horrible. And my all-time, well, I can't say all-time, but for 2008, The Spirit, which
I remember
this movie was so bad. Like my wife and I rented it at Redbox. We finished watching this movie. She just turns, looks at me, and goes, "I want my 53 cents back." I'm like, "But it was $1.07." She's like, "You're paying that extra penny because I'm not taking that hit." That's how bad this movie was.
Jesus,
when you guys had to fight over a penny.
Yeah,
At least it was a penny you guys had to fight over. I mean, man.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, you're taking that hit for everybody. I'm like, all right, because it had a great cast. It was another one that had an all-star cast, and they just could not pull it out. And it was a shame because the Spirit as a character, fantastic, but this movie,
That's fair.
I totally agree.
For my bottom three on this, I did have a lot that was similar to your guys's. The Love Guru is just fucking garbage. It really is so bad, especially when you're like, if you're a fan of when Austin Powers and like Mike Myers style of comedy like this works, you'll be equally just as disappointed with this because of it not working. He just seems to have lost all of the things that made Austin Powers work and tried to shoehorn a bunch of stuff with this film that it was bad.
It was all after Cat in the Hat is when his career went downhill.
Yeah, that's fair. But I also have a couple others. I think Zack and Miri Make a Porno is kind of garbage.
No, don't you do it.
It's kind of garbage.
Don't you do it,
dude? That's a shit take.
Really?
Right?
Really? You said Marley and Me was your worst.
I had a good reason though.
Marley and Me. I'm choosing taking an actual dump on someone's face, not really being my favorite film. And you're taking Marley and Me.
All right, here. Let me just be.
Let me give my third one. Right, God damn it, all of you.
All right, and then I'll get back to that because I have something to say about that.
And my third one is The Mummy 3 because it just had so much lost potential. Brendan Fraser came back. They had Rachel. No, it wasn't Rachel Weisz. She didn't come back for this one. So that was the first. That was the first problem. Second problem was bringing in who was it? Jet Li.
Yes.
Jet Li, just completely underused, not able to do any of this stuff that makes Jet Li, and it just, I don't know, it felt like a cash grab and them trying to expand on something that just didn't have a good enough run to push through. I love the first and the second films. Like, they're one of the best action adventure films to come out in the past couple decades. And way better than Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. That was probably the worst of this. Like, I completely forgot about that film coming out this year.
Okay, so I have a question regarding Indiana Jones.
Yes.
For somebody who has not seen it, would
any of them?
2 hours.
No,
I haven't seen any of them.
No, I've seen three. I've seen the first, second, and third.
Those are the only three.
Because I know they're making a fifth one, so I don't know. Is the fifth one going to tie into the fourth one, or are they retconning the fourth one?
Oh, who the fuck knows?
Okay.
Who knows? That's such a weird question, especially because they've rewritten it like several times at this point. And Harrison Ford is only just crashing one plane after the other. We don't know how much longer he's got, and it's on his timeline. It seems like too. I wonder if he gets a cough and he's like, "Uh oh, this might be the end," and then does something completely reckless to try to I'm not going out like some chump, and tries to fly a plane and lands it on a freeway, and he's like, "Dang it, I've survived." There's allergies. Shit.
Get off my plane.
Right. Well, let's move over to our top, or I guess our
Real
underrated recommendation.
quick before we go into that, you mentioned something about Zach and Miri make a porno that really just bugs me because that reminds me so much of me and Chaz. Okay, me and Chaz.
I don't think that's ever pooping on your face.
Okay.
No. The only reason why I say that is the like in the earlier scenes. The earlier scenes of that movie remind me of me and Chaz. All right, when they're having a conversation and the customer walks up, can I get a coffee? Black? Don't you see I'm in the middle of a conversation? White?
Yeah.
See? Think about it. It is one of the best parts of that
think
movie.
about that. Emily says that she likes the Crystal Skull, you guys, hey, she's a fan.
I can't knock her.
But Emily, you're wrong.
There's one in every crowd.
I'm just kidding.
Emily, but why? I want to know why. Because convince me to watch it, because these other people are convincing me not to watch it.
Well, to be a completionist, you should watch it. How about that? If you watched Alien 3, you should watch Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. You need to understand why it's so ridiculous, especially that nuclear scene where he survives by putting himself in a refrigerator.
I agree.
But they were bloodline. That made sense.
Robert.
Well, don't you want to see the iconic Shia about to put on the hat, and then Indiana takes it away and goes, and then it moves on to the next scene?
Oh, no, but see, but you get that on one hand, but the other hand, you get him swinging through the jungle like Tarzan.
That's true. Yeah, you do get that. They're swinging through a sound stage right off of set from where Revenge of the Sith was filmed. Like, hurry and do this one too while you're at it.
Leave it to Spielberg. Just leave it to Spielberg.
No, you leave it to Lucas to be like, maybe you should try some special effects. We've got a lot of cool things that we could try here.
Where's Michael Bay?
Make sure that you do it faster and more intense, Shia, okay? Shia, go up there. You're gonna swing on that vine, Shia, okay? I worked with Jake Lloyd and I did very good with him, so I think I can do well with kid actors. This will work well.
Are you gonna be George Lucas for Halloween? Is that what you're
I'm starting to get the belly for it in the neck thing that's happening.
Just fill in the beard a little bit. You're good to go. Get some spray and gray.
Put on some glasses. Get really upset about the Directors Guild. just always talk shit about it all the time.
You ruined my projects.
That's why I did the marketing for my toys. That's why I made the deal. And Disney just ruined it. Oh man. But let's move to our recommendations and underrated films. Robert, what do you have as far as recommendations for this year?
I've got Blindness, which I think I first saw at Sundance, and it's basically people randomly start going blind across the planet, and to give much more away from that, or to give much more is to give away a large percentage of the movie. But I thought it was an interesting character study. Hancock, because in a year where we got Iron Man and The Dark Knight, we got a completely different take on superheroes that was not your not even clean cut, not your average take on superheroes. And it was kind of like a total anti-hero. And it was fun. It was different. And Will Smith proved that he could be kind of a bastard.
I'd say so.
Which we've not really seen before, because he's coming not too far out of Fresh Prince. You're just like, he can be kind of shitty. That's okay.
Right. Well I agree with that. Even more than iRobot. So.
Yeah, fair point. And my third one was Quarantine, which is a remake of a movie called Wreck, which was a Spanish film.
Oh yeah.
And it's one of those found footage films which sometimes work and sometimes don't. But this one, I think, stayed really true to the Spanish source, and it was just a good, hour and a half, 45-minute horror ride. So those are my three underrated.
Excellent choices, man. Have you seen the original Wreck? What did you think of the original?
Well, that was the thing. It was like looking at Wreck and looking at Quarantine. I think that we saw Quarantine first, and then we watched Wreck and just went so they pretty much just went shot for shot, changed some names, and called it good. So for me, it was more of the same, just with subtitles.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. Chaz, my friend, what do you have for your underrated recommendations?
Okay, well, I have The Strangers, which
Ooh, that's why you were watching it yesterday. Okay.
I think it's a very I don't know. It changed the rules for horror for that year. I think like
Not
once
bad, not bad.
I mean spoiler alert, but like once they're inside within the first 10 minutes, like it's over.
But that's a good Halloween recommendation too, especially for this month.
Absolutely, I would totally recommend it. And the score is actually really creepy too. I actually write to that sometimes. So, I also have Zach and Mary make a porno.
Nice.
I think it's just funny.
Hey, I'm not
I
gonna get
know.
upset about it. You're just wrong, and I hate you.
And then I have 21.
Nice.
I think that's a fun
Jim Sturgis.
Yeah. I think it's fun.
I didn't say anything, but
I liked it. But that's how I got for my. I have more, but you
Nice.
know how it is.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I know you got more than that.
Patrick will shut me down.
Yeah, he will.
whatever. I would not. But I do have my recommendations for this year. I'd go Hellboy 2 for a recommendation. I do think it's actually a really good sequel, and it's kind of sad to think about because they went ahead and did the reboot instead of going with a third continuation, which everybody was game for. The director, the actors, everybody wanted to do this, but the studio decided to go in a different direction, which was straight in the trash. I guess this isn't really a recommendation or underrated. I don't know if it's underrated, but it is a recommendation. Pineapple Express is probably the best comedy that comes out that year. It's incredible, and it's still timely. It's funny to think that it's a little bit dated with the fact of how much pot has been legalized. Like, it's a whole new different thing where it's like you're going into James Franco's house. Why don't you just go to a dispensary? Like, that's very confusing to me. Like, a lot of people might have that, or just like, why don't you go down to the 7-Eleven? They have it there. That will be the future from this point.
Pretty much what you're saying is that movie is period correct for this year.
It has one of the best intros of of how pot became illegal with Bill Hader. I love that beginning of it so much. It's a great one. And the last recommendation that I have is Be Kind, Rewind. This is a Jack Black film. Mos Def, I think, is in it as well, and I really enjoy this film. It's a fun little movie.
That movie actually really made me cry, and that's actually one of my recommendations too. Was Be Kind, Rewind. Jack Black, Mos Def, Danny Glover, really great movie, really well put together.
Give me the rest you have.
All right, well, Be Kind, Rewind. I also have Samuel Jackson in Lakeview Terrace. If you're looking for like a little drama / thriller. I think it shows even more how much of a dick Samuel Jackson can be, which is why he's my favorite actor. Really great movie for just a rainy day, you know what I mean? And then I also have Samuel Jackson and Bernie Mac in Soul Men, because it was actually one of the last films that you ever get to see Samuel Jackson and Bernie Mac in a movie together, along with Isaac Hayes. That was they both died within a week of each other after the release of this movie. So, and not to mention, Bernie Mac is my favorite comedian of all time. So, to see my favorite actor and my favorite comedian together in a movie was just brilliant. And then Isaac Hayes doing the score for the movie as well. I thought it was really great. Those are my 3 recommendations, along with Burn After Reading. But that's good. We already talked about that already. So
I guess we can talk about it if this isn't on the list, but I do want to talk about it when we get to it. Tropic Thunder. That's all I'm going to say.
That's on my list.
It's on my list.
Yeah, it's on the list.
Can we just talk about Tropic Thunder right now?
Yes, we can.
Holy shit.
It's a movie that could not be made today.
It could not be made today, and nor should it be made today.
Not to mention, now that I think about it, that's 2 movies for Robert Downey Jr., 3 movies for Jack Black in the same year.
Oh, wow.
When you think about it, Jack Black was in Kung Fu Panda. He was in Kung Fu Panda, Be Kind, Rewind, and Tropic Thunder.
can we talk about the balls on Marvel to be like, yeah, we're gonna have you be our flagship show. We're gonna definitely start you out. And what film are you also gonna be in? Oh, okay. I guess you can release both, and it'll be fine. Or maybe maybe Robert.
Which one came out first? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, could you imagine if like Brie Larson was doing something like this right now?
Man.
You know what I mean? Like it just would not work in any case. But it's so good. It's so funny. It's so good at turning everything around on Hollywood and just pointing out how idiotic some of the stuff is with the things that they're still doing to this day that just kind of make you turn your head and go, what are we doing right now, Hollywood? It's a fantastic film. I don't know why we segued out and now we're going back in, but now let's go into our best, which I would like to start this. And I'm going to say the one that I'm sure everyone else will have somewhere. The Dark Knight is
is that where he dies?
Yeah. The Dark Knight. It's the one, it's that one film, shaped a generation.
Oh, is this the Snyder cut?
Yeah. Well, I think Snyder would be really happy if people said that. I'll say that. He'd be like, really? Thank you. That's all I've wanted. It's just a comparison, please, God.
So I just looked it up, and Tropic Thunder came out before Iron Man did.
But which one probably was in production first?
It doesn't matter. The fact that there's like, yeah, that can release right before we do this.
Right. It was literally a month before.
Times were so different. Wow. Imagine if there was just like set leaks of Tropic Thunder while Iron Man was going. Nothing would have happened. Everything would have been shut down. It would have been shut down just as bad as the pandemic shut down Hollywood. Everything. That's so funny. But The Dark Knight. I was a young kid, a junior in high school, and I had gone to opening night to this movie, and it changed everything. I don't know how else to put it. It changed me in ways I can't describe. Look, I was shocked seeing how well and serious they took this character and the lengths that they went to really not just make a superhero film, but to make a movie and to focus on story over let's make a new Batmobile or let's make toys like what we've seen from this franchise. Oh, and I just I don't like where your head's at. It changed the game, and there's no other way to say it, and it still holds up. Heath Ledger's performance is iconic and cannot be dismissed at all. It was super dismissed when it was first
mediocre.
Oh yeah, definitely
mediocre. You know what, Chaz?
I'm just kidding.
We're gonna talk about this with some other people. I don't have to. He'll come back when he behaves.
So honestly, I actually do agree with you. Like Heath Ledger, his performance by far still the best Joker, even that of Joaquin Phoenix, I think. And also when I look at it, you have Jack Nicholson. If you want to rank them, I would go Heath Ledger, Jack Nicholson, and then everyone else. I mean, really, you just need those two. Because Jack Nicholson will always be the original. You know what I mean? Not to mention, he made a crap load of money off of Batman.
He's not the original.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, the
Batman
original
66.
From the...
Come on, man.
All right.
Come on,
man. I'm talking from my era, my friend. I'm sorry. I'm an 80s kid, and...
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. But no, from when I first saw Jack Nicholson as a Joker, I should rephrase what I said. So sorry.
Well, no. Because actually, I'll take a slight tangent here and go. I think that every Batman has gotten the Joker that they needed. I think that Nicholson's Joker was the perfect foil for Keaton. Heath Ledger's grounded, anarchic, chaotic Joker was a great foil for Christian Bale. And once you get to Mark Hamill and Kevin Conroy, just the interplay of the voices alone, let alone the animation of it with them. So I think that each Batman has gotten the Joker that they needed, and Ledger, his performance as the Joker in that movie was phenomenal. I mean, there's really no way around that. And it was just basically just like, what would happen if somebody was just like, I literally just don't care what happens. I just want to see what falls out.
Right.
And he played that to death. No pun intended.
And
No,
oh my god.
Third turn.
Wow.
He said no pun intended.
Can we also talk about the fact that they didn't let their hero win, which is really, really a big deal when it comes to the superhero genre. They took tropes and they turned them on their head. The hero usually goes and saves the girl, but in this case, he made a choice, and that choice had consequences that they followed through with when it went to The Dark Knight Rises. And that's just something that you did not see in films with superheroes in it. And it's what took the genre to the level of it needing to be more serious. The Academy even expanded their nominations to 10 when it came to Best Picture because of The Dark Knight, and of course Heath Ledger winning Best Supporting Actor. And we need to talk about Aaron Eckhart playing a fantastic Harvey Dent, and that turn of his demise is so underrated because Heath Ledger's performance is so iconic, but Harvey Dent he is the linchpin, the heart of the entire story.
And so what you're saying is you like his Harvey Dent better than Tommy Lee Jones's?
Oh,
yes.
Well, when they released the Schumacher cut and proved that Tommy Lee Jones was actually serious the whole time,
or Billy D. Williams for that matter.
Yeah, what the fuck, right? When the hell would they had the perfect Harvey Dent with Billy D. Williams, and then Joel Schumacher showed up and was like, meh. And I don't understand why he wanted to carry over threads of Tim Burton. Why would you change that?
So going off The Dark Knight, I was actually in 8th grade going into 9th. It was the summer of 8th going into 9th.
Get out.
Damn it, Chaz.
Yeah.
Why are the two older guys get mad whenever they talk of when young people talk? I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. So that's actually my first premiere ever. And we went to like the midnight premiere, and seeing everybody walk in dressed up as Batman or the Joker. And this is before, people dressing up like that was kind of sketch in a movie theater because of a certain event in 2012. But just seeing that and seeing or hearing everybody laugh and cheer, and like it was so loud
during parts that they immediately regretted laughing at. I remember specifically the pencil trick.
Yeah,
that was when I went, oh shit, we're into something. But this is different.
Yeah, you know what? I was watching The Dark Knight today, and that can be debunked because that same guy wound up not dying.
What do you mean debunked?
What?
Yes, if you rewatch
actually kill them.
You rewatch that scene.
I don't think I was saying you would kill them.
You'll notice when Campbell is faced with the dead body of Joker, he's like, well, that's 500. Well, one of those three guys was a guy with the pencil. I actually rewatched that like 3 times a day because I couldn't believe it. I thought the guy was gone, and you wouldn't have even noticed. Oh man, I couldn't tell you.
What if that was Nick Fury's origin story?
Oh man. Oh man. Now you know what?
Somebody pull the shield off the wall.
Oh,
thank you.
I'm just saying that would have been better than the stupid cat scratch.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick though on Dark Knight? Okay, I think this is Nolan's first film where he plays with IMAX ratio, like full screen versus widescreen.
Yeah, to be like, please try it.
I personally don't mind that. So my first question to you guys is, do you mind that? Because it's actually a thing that he has carried on to his other films. Do you mind that at all or no?
I don't mind
this. I didn't mind it with this, but it's when it turns into like, which Transformers film was it where just every other scene they changed the aspect ratio? Like at one point,
that was the one with the pyramid in it. I know which one you're talking about.
No, I think it was the Anthony Hopkins one. The last night.
Fifth one.
That thing was ridiculously bad when it came to changing the aspect ratios. Sometimes it throws me out, but it didn't with this because I think they used it appropriately. When it was big spectacle moments, they incorporated it. When it turned into the smaller, more dialogue-driven scenes, it didn't.
So
right, and I saw this in IMAX as well at the time they called it the Man Chinese Theater. Now it's called the Chinese Theater, but in the Hollywood, LA area. But I agree with Patrick. As far as when it was appropriate for it to be used. I was thoroughly paying attention, even though that cost me a pretty penny for that ticket. But
Chaz, what were you going to say real quick? Then we'll move into the other ones.
Okay. And so knowing Nolan now, how he has a lot of sound mixing issues, I think we can all see that's a thing. I remember a lot of people complaining about Christian Bale's voice, about how they actually went into post and made it even more gravelly. Did you have an issue with that or no? I personally did not.
That one.
No, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't either. It just
in Rises, yes. In Rises, it was horrible.
Yeah, horrible in Rises, but in Night, no. And my reason for that is it shows the level of tech that Batman's trying to develop in his suit to either change his voice or something like that. I thought it brought a Batman Year One type feel to it. If you ever watched that animation of Batman Year One, where he had to change his voice, or when he fought with Selena Kyle with the scar on his face and stuff like that from that cartoon. So I think it was well incorporated. I didn't mind it at all.
All right, let me give my last ones real quick. So I also have Tropic Thunder as one of the tops of the year. And my final one that I had for this, I honestly put Step Brothers. I think Step Brothers is one of the funniest movies I've ever seen in my life. It is so freaking good. But yeah, I know there's a lot of other films that came out this year that we will have to touch on. So let's drop it back over to Chaz. What was your three best?
Dark Knight, Tropic Thunder. Fun fact. Third one is actually In Bruges.
Rian Johnson.
No.
Ha! Colin Farrell, right?
Yeah, it's Martin McDonagh.
But it's not Rian Johnson. Okay,
no.
Got it.
It's a funny Brick. It's a funny film, and if you ever want to see Ralph, how do you say his last name? Fiennes.
Ralph Fiennes.
If you ever want to hear him say
Don't say his name
over again, I think this movie is hilarious because there's a lot of British humor in it, and it's very dark humored. So,
you know, when I go into Letterboxd, I usually search keywords Ralph Fiennes and cunt at the same time, and I go, let's make sure that we have all of that.
There is one specific scene on YouTube where you just say "In Bruges cunt" and like that.
Can't believe you made us say that today. Is it because we finally put the disclaimer up?
Yes, it is.
So now no, that doesn't mean we go deeper into the dark abyss that's the show. Jesus.
Hey, there was a parental warning, and you put it in there.
I did. Didn't know we'd go. I didn't know we'd go straight to cunt. But
now, are we still doing?
I guess that's. We've said it way too much. Robert looks angry now.
That's roasted bitch face.
I was about to say. I would have thought he looked like he had a long day.
Oh man. Well, Robert, what were your top three?
Yes, I would approve this message. Robert, what was your top three?
I'm going to drop Dark Knight since it's been on quite a few lists already. It's up there, and I'll keep Tropic Thunder. WALL-E, I actually enjoyed it because the movie forever had no dialogue. It was still told a compelling story.
I give that.
And it was just, it told a story, or it told a life tale that people should pay some attention to, climate change and waste. But it was a cute little romantic story with that nebbish guy and the really attractive girl, and how they met and danced around each other for so long. It was just kind of fun. I quite enjoyed it.
Sigourney Weaver played Eva. That's crazy.
I don't think I knew that.
Ooh, we should have a fun fact segment. That would just take up too much work.
Yeah. But I'm in for that one if you do it. And Cloverfield.
Oh, nice.
Because
that's a great.
Going back to a found footage movie, but I like the fact that you didn't see what this thing was, and it was just like you get glimpses of something in the distance, you get abject terror from everybody involved, and then you come to find out, oh, it's this thing, and everybody's just like, yeah, well, we don't know what to do. We're out of options.
If that was a good addition, like what you were saying before with the found footage genre, this was another found footage kind of thing with Cloverfield that really started up a lot of up and coming films, some not so good and some good. But Jay, what were your picks for your top three best? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. For my top three picks, I'm going to take a different approach than all of you, because we already know, about The Dark Knight. We already know about Iron Man and Pineapple Express and all that other good stuff. But one of my 3 best picks, I'm going to choose Gran Torino.
Good movie.
Really great movie. I enjoy Clint Eastwood movies as they are, even from Dirty Harry on. You just can't get past his performance and what you were able to learn from his experience in that movie. I thoroughly enjoyed his performance, and as a matter of fact, the entire cast of that movie did really well. And that was one of those movies where I believe he directed that movie, if I'm not mistaken. Another movie I have is The Hurt Locker.
Nice.
Oh, that was in there.
Yeah, with Jeremy Renner and Anthony Mackie. Yeah, before their MCU debut for the both of them, many years before Anthony Mackie, but maybe a year or 2 before he was in Thor. I really enjoyed that, mostly because I had friends that served, and one friend actually did do something like that. So it was kind of, when he explained it to me more thoroughly, he said that it was way similar to that. Of course, it's cinematic movie stuff. Of course, they have to add some certain stuff in, but definitely one of my picks. And then my third one, and Tom Hardy and Bronson.
Bronson came out that year.
Yeah, Bronson came out that year, and that was based off a true story. And I thought that was a very spectacular performance from Tom Hardy. And I think that's kind of what really brought him into more of the spotlight for getting some more of these bigger roles that he's in now. So, I have more on here.
Nice.
You got 21, you got Liam Neeson in Taken, because Taken also came out that year as well.
Oh, wow.
You have Don Cheadle and Traitor, which I enjoyed that movie too. Yeah, I got a lot on here, and I'm not going to say 7 pounds because that will put you to sleep.
Whoa. What?
Dude, I'm not.
Chaz up.
I'm sorry.
What was that? Oh no! Look at him. He is shooketh. Shooketh man.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would probably put that on my worst because it made me cry too.
And that's exactly why I didn't put it on my list at all.
You need to get in touch with your feelings, Chaz, and quit blaming directors.
I do. It's fucking 2020. It's been a rude awakening.
And another okay. There's 2 more movies. Another okay movie. I thought it was okay. Was Vantage Point with Dennis Quaid, and I also have Role Models on here as well. Very funny movie.
That got me to LARPing the most.
Yeah.
So, Jay, let me ask you. So, you've got Gran Torino on there because of the lessons learned there. What about going to another eventual MCU edition, Mickey Rourke and the Wrestler?
I did. It was a very big toss-up, as Patrick only will make you choose 3. So, I'm just kidding. No, I actually
I do it for you so that Chaz doesn't take your picks.
I know. I actually do have that on my list. I have that in a list along with Cinderella Man from all the way going. It's one of those things where it's it was really good, and it was a hard toss up, but I had to choose what I chose.
Okay.
Because those are the ones that I watched more. I've only watched The Wrestler maybe like 2-3 times. All the other movies I could sit down and watch all day, but that one,
I forgot. Worst is You Don't Mess with the Zohan. Fuck that movie too. And I just reviewed an Adam Sandler film today, and yeah, he didn't do his worst with Hubie Halloween. He did his worst back with Don't Mess with the Zohan or Jack and Jill, whichever one.
Or Disaster.
So I got one more though that I just thought about for recommendations. Rock and Rolla.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a way good one. And there's other films that we can quickly skim through. Mamma Mia came out this year.
Mamma Mia.
Saw had another edition, of course. You have The Curious Case of Benjamin Button, which we pointed out before. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. Get Smart with Anne Hathaway and Steve Carell, I believe.
Eagle Eye. with
Eagle Eye. Yeah, I was about to say Eagle Eye.
Valkyrie.
Yeah, I won't talk about that one. And don't forget Wanted.
Tom Cruise, funny enough, literally became a Nazi for that film.
Yep.
Just adapted the whole thing. He's really method in that sense.
There's Wanted.
That's
the Wrestler.
Day the Earth Stood Still remake.
Yeah, I was about to. Yeah, the remake for The Day the Earth Stood Still. That one is in my okay list.
Oh, and I forgot what. So we mentioned earlier about the virus and coming back to something. Doomsday from the UK.
Oh yeah,
with Rhoda Mitra, Alexander Siddig, a bunch of other people. But that was the one that was saying that looking at the virus now and a movie that I thought that Jay was talking about on his list with the viral setting and just what the world's come to. Looking at Doomsday was the movie I was going with there.
Oh, okay,
that's a good pick.
That was a real good one.
Slumdog Millionaire came out that year too.
Oh yeah, Ryan Coogler's first movie.
We all
I
did
believe.
not mention Slumdog Millionaire. Wow,
I know.
Dev
It was on my
Patel
list.
is
but-
an incredible actor. He was going to be in a film this year, The Green King,
The Green Knight.
The Green Knight.
Green
Yeah,
Knight.
that was going to be at South by Southwest. Really hoping to see that soon.
Oh,
but Dev Patel is a great actor.
Yeah,
and there's one more movie I actually have a recommendation to before we go, and it's with Donnie Yen called Ip Man. It's actually the story of Grandmaster Ip, real life person, Bruce Lee's real teacher, and it shows how he became who he was.
Very
Have you seen all of them?
I own all of them.
Okay. The fourth one let me down a little bit.
The keyword is own, and I've even seen all the other spin-offs of it, and I just like the ones with Donnie Yen personally.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Chaz. I know you're ready to say something.
I haven't seen them.
Oh, he's looking at you like he looked at his son. He's like,
the key word was recommendations. So I do recommend the Ip series with Donnie Yen.
That's a
It's
good
very,
recommendation.
very great movie. That's all I got.
I have two more.
Two more. Give them.
Okay, two more. It's actually a short film you can find on YouTube called Next Floor, and it is Denis Villeneuve's short film.
Oh,
and
God.
it's pretty fun.
Go for that.
I know. And then I also, just because it's kind of Halloween spirit, there's a movie called, I haven't seen it, but it looks enticing, Thanksgiving, where a turkey kills people.
Ooh, well, it couldn't be any worse than whatever the fuck Mel Gibson's trying to do with his
Santa Claus.
Santa
Have you guys seen the trailer for that? We're not really doing news a lot, but what the hell is that movie?
Yeah,
that
I did
looks
see
legit.
that.
Did you see Scrooged? Has any of you guys seen Scrooged?
Yes.
You know that, when they're like, let's show this totally different, like Santa's like killing people with machine guns and AK-47s. It looks like Mel Gibson just went, well, why don't we do that movie? And then just went and made that movie.
Yeah, it looks like they took a scene out of Robot Chicken and threw it all together. That's what that movie reminds me of, to be honest. So, I mean, I'm interested to see it because, it actually looks somewhat funny to watch, like one of those movies that pop up on TV. Like, oh, well, it's either this or Green Lantern. I don't know. I'll go with this.
Which one gave anti-Semitic comments? Okay.
Oh, speaking of Green Lantern, HBO Max actually just greenlit the
series.
Green Lantern series.
Bring me Jon Stewart.
He's
That's
not
all
in
I
it.
want.
That's all everyone wants. I want.
He's not in it?
No,
He's not.
it's Alan Scott, Jessica Cruz, and Simon Baz, and Guy Gardner.
Ooh.
And
they're
I would
really
be
listening
happy
to
if
their
they-
fans.
And I would be really happy if they even added Kilowog, but unfortunately, I would. Yeah, they
Well-
need to bring Jon Stewart in unless they're saving him for a movie, but I highly doubt that.
Well, let's wrap up our 2008 by saying this was one of the best years for comic book films. Of course, we cannot dispute what Iron Man did, as well as The Dark Knight, and it's also a great year in film as well. I want to thank my guests for coming on and talking about these films with me and bearing with us, trying to press these trailer buttons and things. Robert, Action Figure Theater, tell us what you have going on and where the people can find you.
Well, you can find me on Instagram at Action Figure Theater. It's capes and coffee, basically. So action figures, coffee, and a lot of them. You can also find me at fourcolorcoverage.com from time to time, and here and there.
here and there and there. I don't know why I'm singing that. Jay,
Yes.
let's talk about it. Let's talk about where to find you, man.
You can actually find me right here on Instagram. It'd probably be the best bet besides Facebook. I am on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter that much. But yes, I'm actually filming an update episode for episode 3. Hopefully, I'll be doing that Sunday. I'm hoping Sunday. I'm waiting for my guest to get back to me, and then also behind that, I'll have another episode for episode 4. So please stay on the tune and the lookout for that. And as always, you can find me here on Gaggle of Geeks every other week or so.
Nice. And Chaz, over and under Artist Exposed, you got a new episode out?
Got a new episode out every Friday. This week it's Brendan O'Leary. I actually have one recorded for next week already and edited. So it's a week off for me. Yeah, find me over in there and on Twitter and Instagram. So
that's a well-deserved week off, by the way.
What?
Yeah, you deserve a week off.
You deserve a week off.
You deserve
Thank
it.
you.
I'm still trying to catch up on the Over and Under podcast. Dude. I'm at that one where that guy is talking for like 3 hours or something like that. It sounds like he goes on forever, dude. Like,
there's good conversations. But Patrick, real quick, I want to say something real quick.
Nope.
Yeah,
we're done.
Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday this weekend.
It's your birthday.
Go, Shawty. It's your birthday.
Show your face, Patrick. Come on. Oh,
there you go. Happy birthday to Patrick from Patrick Beatty.
Congratulations on your first news segment, and congratulations on your birthday. It's a great weekend for you, man.
Well, you guys are awesome. I couldn't have a better crew to do this stuff with. Again, you can catch us all on PatrickBeattyReviews.com, all our respective things. We have reviews coming out every week, of course. And I don't know, maybe you will catch me in a different format in the next coming weeks. We'll see. But I want to thank everybody and my guests again, and we will see you at the next review.